Alright guys, this time we will learn about endogenous and exogenous processes. Endogenous processes are caused by convection currents in the opposite asthenosphere, which move parts of the Earth's crust plates so they can form land, mountains, and oceans. Exogenous process is the process of changing the surface of the Earth by geomorphological power, which is all natural energy from outside the Earth that is capable of eroding and transporting the Earth's surface material. For example, water flowing, moving glaciers, grow water flow, wave, and wind. First, endogenous process. We will take an example of an endogenous process is an earthquake. An earthquake, also known as a quake, tremor, or trembler, is the shaking of the surface of the Earth, resulting from a sudden release of energy in the Earth's lithosphere that creates seismic wave. Earthquake can range in size from those that are so weak that they cannot be felt to those violent the proper object and people into the air and wreak destruction across entire cities. First, volcanic activities. Volcanic explosions are certainly the most common cause of earthquakes in the neighborhood of active volcanoes. Such earthquakes are known as volcanic earthquakes. Such earthquakes are common in the area near the volcanoes. They may occur before the volcanoes actually erupt, which area due to the intrusion of dikes, increasing pressures of volcanic gases, and other movement of lava. Second, folding and faulting. A fault is defined as a fractured plane along which the rock has been displaced. There are vertical as well as horizontal displacement. Earthquakes are caused to the sudden movement of rock along fault. Remember that the horizontal as well as vertical movement of rock result from the operation of endogenous forces beneath the Earth's surface. It is due to such movement that faults and faults are created. Third, plate tectonics. Shiftings of the earth plate can cause earthquakes because they even accompanied by the release of large amounts of energy. In addition to shifting the earth plates, the motion of the earth plate they move away from each other can also cause earthquakes. That is because when the earth plates move away from each other, new plates will form between them. The newly formed plate will get good pressure from the two off so that it will move down and cause the release of energy, which is also very large. Finally, the movement of the plates that are close together can also cause earthquakes. 4. Anthropogenic factors. Sometimes human interference with nature causes artificial earthquakes. The underground testing of H-bomb produces shockwave through overlying rock, which result is an artificial earthquake. On certain occasions, a munition factory explodes, causing an earthquake of magnitude. Deep underground mining for the extraction of minerals, blasting for the construction of dams and reservoirs, and similar other human activities may also cause mild tremors. There are many other minor causes like landslides in mountainous areas, submarine slides, collapse of cable roof, and avalanches which cause perceptible tremors in the earth's crust. That's right, there are three types of earthquake. First, earthquake based on the crust, that is, tectonic earthquake due to the tectonic activity. Volcanic earthquake because of magma activity which usually occurs before a volcano erupts. The earthquake was only felt around the volcano. Then, collision earthquake are caused by the impact of meteors or asteroids that fall to Earth. And the last is collapse earthquake. That occurs as a result of a mine or area with limestone collapses. In addition, it can occur due to landslides. Second, earthquake based on depth, that is shallow earthquake whose epicenter is less than 50 km from the surface of the Earth. Then, intermediate earthquake, the epicenter of the earthquake is between 50 until 300 km below the Earth's surface. And last is deep earthquake with a hypocenter more than 300 km below the Earth's surface. The Ring of Fire is a major area in the basin of the Pacific Ocean where many earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur. About 90% of the world's earthquakes and about 81% of the world's large earthquakes occur along the Ring of Fire. According to the experts' review based on the mapping project by the Global Earthquake Model Foundation, the scientists realized the 15 countries account for most of the death and destruction wrought by earthquake. The countries is China, Japan, Iran, Arabia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Turkey, Mexico, Pakistan, Peru, Ecuador, Guatemala, United States, India, and Nepal. Then we will discuss about exogenous process. We will take an example of an exogenous process is erosion. In earth science, erosion is the action of surface processes such as water flow or wind that remove soil rock or dissolved material from one location on the earth crust and then transport it to another location. Some of the natural factors affecting erosion in a landscape include 1. Climate is perhaps the most influential force impacting the effect of erosion and landscape. 2. Topography. The shape of surface features of an area can contribute to how erosion impacts that area. 3. Vegetation can slow the impact of erosion. Finally, tectonic activity shapes the landscape itself and thus influences the way erosion impacts on area. 1. Erosion by water. Rainfall produces 4 types of soil erosion. Splash erosion describes the impact of a falling raindrop which can scatter tiny soil particles. Sheet erosion describes erosion caused by runoff. Rill erosion describes erosion that takes place as runoff develops into discrete streams. Gully erosion is the stage in which soil particles are transported through large channels. Erosion by wind. Wind is a powerful agent of erosion. Alien wind-driven processes constantly transport dust, sand, ash from one place to another. Wind can also erode materials until little remains at all. Erosion by ice. Ice, usually in the form of glaciers, can erode the earth and create dramatic landforms. Anthropogenic erosion, human activity altering the vegetation of an area, is perhaps the biggest human factor contributing to erosion. When people cut down forests or plow up grasses for agricultural and development, the soil is more vulnerable to wasting or blowing away. Erosion can occur in all regions of the world depending on the factors that influence it.